Shalom to my brothers and sisters who are called the bride of the Messiah, and shalom to the scattered Hebrew Israelites, for you are called the bride of Yahuwah, and Yahuwah is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom. I know it's late this evening, but again, the Most High has stirred. He has given the confirmation to what we shall discuss tonight in this video. But the title of this video is No Hebrew Israelites, that's supposed to be an S, can dispute the 1582 error and the 1752 error. And you're probably saying, what is Sister Yidia talking about now? Okay. Now, those who have seen some of the videos on the channel may already know what this is about, but those who don't, I have brought the proof. I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters, the proof that no Israelite can dispute, nor can they reject unless their heart is hardened. This is facts. This is not dealing with this is not dealing with self-interpretation. This is dealing with facts. And this pertains to the Most High calendar. And this will prove unto you, my brothers and sisters, that the heavens that the heavens does dictate unto us when is his Sabbath day, when is his seventh day. This is the proof that no other Israelite going to talk about, because when they see this error, most of them going to shun this error from y'all, okay, because they don't want you to know about it, because then they will have to produce the answer. But guess what? My brother Ronald Dalton Jr., who has the Hebrews to Negroes channel, just provided the confirmation of what I'm going to show you tonight, that the heavens does tell you when the Most High Sabbath day is. This is something that, my brothers and sisters, that I'm asking you to seek out the Most High Yah and to meditate on this, because when you have the heavenly spiritual sense, it makes sense that his heavens is the billboard, and it dictate unto us because it's under the instructions that are written in what? Torah. Okay? Genesis 1:14. And for people who read Genesis chapter 1, the reason why you have a hard time understanding this, because you're not looking at time the way the Father in heaven looks at time. The book of Songs, and I believe it's the book of Peter's, tell you how the Father look at time. We on a smaller level. Remember, he said he is the Most High Yah. His thoughts is higher than our thoughts. We don't think like him, and his ways is his ways. We don't have the same ways of him. He is the Most High Yah. Yes, it is on the seventh day, but this is something that many don't understand. You have to look at math, and his prophets give you the formula, and it comes out to be on the seventh. A mystery that many don't understand, because the Most High is the inventor of math, science, letters, words. It's in the Hebrew language. It's the 4,000 years, sweetheart. Remember, what did I just say in the video? You have to look at time as the Most High say time is. What year did Adam die in, sweetheart? In the 6,000 year. What year was Adam created? In the 6,000 year. Read Genesis chapter 2 and Genesis chapter 5. For it tells you, my sister, that the day that Adam eat the fruit of the tree of knowledge and good and evil, he would die in that day. So did he die in the 6th day or on a 24-hour period? Or did he die within the 6,000 year period? See, this is what I'm talking about, my sister. You got to get on the Most High level and see what he see and hear what he hear and get his understanding and his wisdom. So the sun, the moon, and Mazarov, which is written in Genesis chapter 1, verse 14, the word said that these shall be for what? For signs, for seasons, for days, for years. They are your time indicator. See, the Most High don't need that to tell about time, because he's the Most High. But he made it for man. He made it for Adam, who is male and female. He made it for y'all so you can understand about time. That is the mystery that many do not understand, because we're not on his level. Until you are taught under his spirit and led by his spirit, you're going to continue to see what the heathens see. You're going to continue to follow these false doctrines because you're not getting spiritually connected with the Father and asking him to give you his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. But let us begin first. On one of the videos, I had a brother to comment, and if my brother is watching, this is not to come against you. His name was Malachi, okay? But it's something that you said in your question that I don't think you really thought about what you said. And the Father want me to bring it out in this video. Now, for those who want to read all of the comments, you are welcome to go to the 13th New Moon report that talks about George Morgan. It also talk about the 13th new moon, and it also talk about Brother Hashur overlooked ear. So you can go there. But I want to read one comment because I don't think he realized what he said here. He said in this comment that I'm looking at now, the moon's off, dear. The moon we see ain't the moon Enoch or those saw. The new year starts in the equinox on the 17th March in Jerusalem, or, I'm sorry, that may not be clear for y'all, the 20th March from the equatorial equinox, and forgive my tongue, because sometimes I have a hard time saying certain words. Suns from New Year's season and Sabbaths, moon for new months. There is no 13th month anywhere in the Tanakh. Now, I have the calendar records to prove that the heavens do produce a 13th month. We also have the prophet Enoch who would back this up. And we also have the other prophets who are in the book, who are in the Old Testament, known as Tanakh. And Genesis chapter 1, verse 14 will also back this up as well. See, we have to come in the whole volume of the book. But what this brother was saying, what he don't realize, he wasn't listening to the video because a lot of the stuff I had already said. But if you notice here, he said what? He's looking at the sun, but he's not following Torah. The Torah said the Father has given us the sun, the moon, and Mazzaroth. And Mazzaroth is Hebrew word for the 12 signs. And the Gentile called the 12 sign the zodiac, okay? But in the Hebrew tongue, we call it Mazzaroth. But he has given us the three lights to make his calendar. And each of these lights work together to form his calendar, but each of them have a specific role. Again, we have to seek out the Most High for his understanding. Okay? So what he failed to realize when he made this comment, when he said the moon's off, dear, those who have read 1st and 2nd Enoch, you got to read both books. This is what he mistaken. And my brother, I'm coming to you out of love. I'm not coming to you to embarrass you on anything because I don't think what you thought what you said. We know in our time, there's a big difference between the days of the sun's circuit versus the day of the moon. But he failed to realize that was the same thing in Enoch's days, even though it was lesser days. Because in the days of Enoch, the sun was 364 days and the moon was 360. Now, for those who are good at math, what does tell you? That the moon is what? 4 days shorter than the sun. Therefore, as the years go by, guess what's going to happen with the moon? It's going to start earlier and earlier before the sun entered into the first sign of Mazzaroth, which is the last day in its 12th month. Okay. And that is how we know when the year began and end. Okay. Again, read 1st Enoch. So even in the days of Enoch, the moon's circuit was less than the sun's circuit. This is why it's written in 1st Enoch, where he talked about how the moon would be behind so many days, how the moon would start so many days earlier than the sun. For example, in the 3rd year of the 358 cycle, the moon would start around 12 days earlier than the sun year. Then in the 5th year of the moon, it would start around a total of 20 days before the sun start its year. And in the 8th year of the moon, it would start around 32 days before the sun year. So this is simple math. Now, my brothers and sisters, I am aware that some are not good in math. I'm not coming at you because we all have our strength and weaknesses. But when I say this is simple math, this is something that even a child can do who has the understanding of math, and it will back up what I'm telling you. This is facts. This is not opinion. This is facts. Do the math. Keep a record of the Most High counter and see what Enoch is talking about in the first book and the second book, because the heavens do produce a 13th month. So I just want to bring that out right quick. I do apologize. Also, the Father is reminding me to let you know about the announcements. Please check the video description box. Please keep Sister Joy and her family in prayer. So far, we still have not heard anything or any new updates. Please keep her in your remembrance, my brothers and sisters. For those who are not able to give, you can give in other ways. It don't have to always be a form of money. Reach out to that family. Let them know that they have your support and your prayers. Use the wisdom and the knowledge that the Father has given unto you, my brothers and sisters, on how we shall comfort one another. We must show the love of Yah. The same way our Father loved us, He wants us to take that same love He showed unto us and to show it to each other. That's what Torah was teaching us. But let us keep going. Okay, now here is the proof that I'm talking about, dealing with the 1582 era. So we're going to do this simple math thing tonight. Even a child can do it who has the understanding of math. Now, what you see before you is the 1582 calendar of Italy. Okay? 1582. Now, this is what the heathens discovered in the year of 1582, which started in Rome, which is kind of ironic because we know the wounded head on the beast, on the dragon, is Rome. Okay, so it started in Rome. They realized they was 10 days behind the sun circuit. Okay, in other words, they was losing time. They was not in line with the heavens. Now, when you study their calendar, not only the Gregorian calendar, the Julian calendar, and the ancient Roman calendar, you will learn that the heathens never had it right because they do not follow the heavens. Remember, Israel was giving the instructions from the Father about his heavens and about many other things. We had that greater understanding. Okay. Israel is the nation of priests and kings. It was given unto them to know these things. So we can be a light unto the Gentile and teach them the truth. Because when you study the history of the Gentiles, you will learn their forefathers were taught the ways of the Most High, but their children forsaken it and went after other gods. Okay, but let us keep going here. So what happened was, to correct that error in 1582, the Romans, they changed Friday to the 15th. Now you probably say, well, that's not a big deal. But if you know math, it's not their calendar based on 7. Okay, it's not their calendar based on 7. When I say, what you mean, sister? Calendar. Remember, they start on a Monday. So Monday would be 1. I'm going to write these numbers out. Monday would be 1. Right there. Tuesday would be 2. Wednesday would be 3. Thursday would be 4. Friday would be 5. And Saturday would be 6. And Sunday would be 7. So based on the heathens calendar format, they say that the week is on a continuous 7-day cycle. It does not stop. Now, those who understand math will understand where I'm getting to now. But we're going to get to the nitty-gritty. So for those who don't understand math, I'm going to break it down to make it simple for you so you can understand what I'm talking about. Now, when we look at Friday here, you need to ask yourself, did they start on the right day of the week when they realized they was in error? Let's see. I got a blank calendar here. Okay. Let me bring this up first, and we're going to bring the blank calendar over here. You see, I got that posted up. So let me get my blue marker because I like to match up. Here, what you see, I'm going to raise this up so you can see this. Here, what you see, I have a blank calendar. Okay, we're going to fill this baby out. And what we're going to fill in is the numbers to see what day would 15 fall on before they made a change. Okay, what day with, yes, oh, sorry about that. My internet went in and out. But as you see here, I left Friday blank. Let me get more light over here so you can see. And let me turn my bright thing on so I can see. Okay, there we go. Now, when they made a correction, they had the 15th on Friday, as you see there. Okay. Which fell in the 5th day column, right? All right. Now, what number come after 4? And I'm not trying to be funny, my brothers and sisters. I'm just trying to make this simple so that all of us can understand. Okay. 5. What number come after 5? 6, right? And what number come after 6? 7. Now, that sister was talking about the 7th day. If you notice anything about the 7th day, this is a simple way to fill out the calendar faster, right? All we have to do is add the number 7 to each number to get the next number, right? And I'll show you what I'm talking about. What is the number? What happens when I add 7 plus 1? I get 8, right? Now the number before 8 is 7, right? So this is how we know I added the number correctly. That's what I mean. They on a continuous 7-day cycle. A continuous 7-day cycle. So these numbers have to fall on a certain day of the week. Okay. For example, we have Monday for the Roman calendar as day 1 for them. Okay. And I'm just going to put this up higher so we can see these numbers better. So you can see what day it is. All right. What is 8 plus 7, my brothers and sisters? 15. To see if that's correct, let's go to day 7 column right here. Day 7 column. What is 7 plus 7? 14. I'm going to give you one more example, and then I'm going to fill this out quickly. Okay. Now, what is under day 1 column? What is 15 plus 7? 22. To make sure that we added that number correctly, what is day 7 column? Number should go here. We would add 7 to 14. 21. So right here on day 7 column is 21. And on day 1 column, we have 22. So I'm going to fill this out quickly. Now, in the heathens month, which is the 4th beast count that Daniel prophesies in Daniel chapter 7, their heathen month has a total of 31 days. So I can continue to add 7 until I get to 31. So when I add 7 to 29, that would give me 36. So I know that's I can't put that down because in their calendar month, they don't have 36, nor do the Most High calendar month have 36. Now, when I add 7 to 21, I get 28. When I add 7 to 28, I get 35. So I cannot put that down. So I'm going to come back down here and see what number come after 29. 30. And then in October, they have a total of 31 days. So what I'm about to do now, versus I'm going to fill this out quickly because now we're going to see the error that the heathens made. Do you see how the number 7 flow in the columns? That's another mystery that people don't understand when they look at the Most High calendar. When you look at the Most High calendar, when you go down each day in each column, it is a difference of 7. Do you see how the Father works in math with the number 7. Okay. And I feel like the last one, 6 plus 7 is 13. And then 13 plus 7 is 20. And 7 plus 20 is 27. So now we get back to the question. Since the heathen say that the week is a continuous 7 days nonstop, did they start on the correct day of the week? In other words, did they start on day 5? In other words, should they have started on day 5, which is Friday? Okay. Let's see where the number 15 fall on before they made this correction. Number 15 fell on Monday, my brothers and sisters, not a Friday. Did you see what the heathens did? This is the solid proof that I'm giving to you, my brothers and sisters, to show you that the Roman calendar, which is Satan calendar, will not give you Yahuwah Sabbath day. He has given us his biblical instructions. He has told us that the heavens dictate unto us his Sabbath day. This is very simple, my brothers and sisters. All we have to do is meditate. If we take away these paper calendars and we take away technology, the internet, our watches and everything, how will you be able to tell time? How will you know what seasons you are in? How will you know when the day beginning end, when the month beginning end, and when the year beginning end? See, the book of Genesis tell you these things, but because we have been under these heathens so long, we have their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know what I'm saying? We have their philosophies, their doctrines. So we have to purge ourselves, which remind me of what's coming up in Passover. That's what the removal of the leaven represent. We have to purge ourselves from the doctrines of men. And then when we get to Pentecost, we shall be filled with the doctrines of Yahuwah, because through his spirit, he's bringing knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. See, the Father had to teach me this. When he got my attention to a fellow brother about his calendar, and I'm not going to lie to you, my brothers and sisters, my flesh fought against it because I wasn't used to that. What? The heavens? Huh? So he told me, go back to the beginning, and I'm going to give you the confirmation that you need. And tonight, Brother Ron has also given me the confirmation. Brother Ronald Donald Jr. He has visited the Israelites throughout the world. And in their culture, he has revealed that they keep the Sabbath according to the heavens. And I'm in the video description box, come back later. I'm going to add the video link where you can go to that site to listen to that call tonight that I listened to. And he has the proof to tell you. See, there are Israelites who are still keeping the covenant that was not taken away from them, and that would tell you how they determined the Sabbath, which made spiritual sense. If we did not have technology, what will you use, Israelites and Gentiles, to tell time? How will you know what is a holy day unto the Father and what is an ordinary day unto the Father? Because as we can see here in this fourth beast calendar, according to their formula, because they say a week is a continuous 7 days, it does not stop. So when they made a correction, they should have started on a Monday and not a Friday, which is day 5. See, they should have started on day 1 according to their records. Do you see this? Another thing that you may not know that the Father want me to bring out. Did you not know that before Constantine came on the scene, the Romans' first day of the week was Saturn day? That was done with the planet Saturn. And when you understand language, Saturday do not translate back to Sabbath. It translates back to Saturn's day. The Latin word for Sabbath was Sabbatum. See, again, the language would tell you these things too. Again, the fourth beast, this fulfill his part. His part is this wicked kingdom job is to keep the people from keeping the covenant. They are following the same ways of Antiochus the fourth Epiphanes, who was the first anti-Messiah on the scene. Because when you read the Apocrypha, on the first and second book of Maccabees, as well as the third and fourth book, you will learn more about him. He was the first one who kept the people from keeping the covenant. That was the first one what Daniel was talking about when you read Daniel's 11. It started with him, and from him it has been ongoing since. And the fourth beast, which is Esau kingdom, known as Rome, okay? And we know Babylon or the harlot that sits on the beast or the mystery Babylon is America. Yeah, it goes real deep, my brothers and sisters. So they have followed after this first wicked anti-Messiah of keeping the people from keeping the covenant. But the word is the word. The fathers told Israel, because they cheated on him, because they committed adultery and idolatry, because they did those things, he said, I will cease these holy days from you. In other words, you're not going to worship me and worship another God. So I'm going to take away what I gave unto you, what was holy and sanctified. But now the Father is bringing us back into his truth. Now he's telling me I need to get to the next era, okay? So I hope you understand this part. Now for the Americas, because what you don't understand, this calendar of the fourth beast is very new far as the Gregorian calendar. It's only about 300 years old. So you need to ask yourself, what were the other nations of the earth that was not of the Europeans nations? What did they follow? Before the fourth beast enforced their calendar upon them throughout the world. Now we're going to look at America. Okay, this is in the year of 1752. All right, we see here they realized they was also behind the sun circuit, and I think for them was about 13 days they was behind the sun circuit, something like that. So when they came on the board and when they made a correction, guess what? Excuse me. They did the same thing as the Romans, which makes sense. This is the harlot that sits on the beast. And this is definitely a place of confusion, as we see here. Excuse me. Let me get some water first. Water. Here we go. Shalom. Okay, sorry about that. Got some water now. I'm going to get back on track. They follow the fourth beast, Mystery Babylon, the harlot that sits upon the beast. Okay, let me take another swig of water. Thank you, Father. He reminded me that I didn't go over this part. Before I go to Mystery Babylon, we also want me to go about point out this to you with the number 7. Number 7. Again, we add 1 plus 7, we get what? 8. 8 plus 7, 15. Now, how we go to 18? Don't make sense, do it? 15 plus 7, 22. And then 22 plus 7 is 29. How do we go to 25? Again, each of these columns, no matter if they made a correction, each of these columns should reflect the additions of 7. Let's look at the next column. Number 2. Add 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. 16 plus 7 is 23. How did I get 19? Do you see this? Same thing here. 7 plus 16 is 23. Excuse me. And 23 plus 7 is 30. How did I get 26? That lets you know they didn't do it right according to their formula because they said a week is a continuous 7 days. See, we understand about Most High and his time. The Most High works in cycles, in circuits. It's just like a watch. It has a beginning point and an ending point. And the beginning point is not on the same day as the ending point. It starts at the beginning and it ends at the end, and it starts all over again. That's how the Father deal with time. Again, it's not the way but the heathens taught us. So by the time you get to this column, when you add down, it's going to start flowing in number 7. But the problem with this column, they have it on the wrong day of the week. They have it on day 5 and not on day 1. Okay? If I have a printout, yes, I do. I have a printout, the Most High calendar, and I'll show you how the number 7 works in his calendar as well. Okay? Now let's go to Mystery Babylon calendar because she follows the wounded head known as Rome. All right. She follows that. So we see they have Thursday as the 14th day. And I forgot to put my numbers. Let me put my numbers and let me get the right marker. So for them, they have, for their calendar, Thursdays being day, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So for them, they have Thursday as day 5 for them. Okay. Again, they saying this will continue 7 days. They follow the same pattern. And the Father want me to mention this again if I haven't said it in the video, because I can't remember if I said it or not. But before Constantine came in the scene, they had Saturday as the first day of the week, not as the 7th day. Again, it's so much stuff that when you learn the history of their calendar, you will learn, again, it does not follow the heavens. So how can you expect it to give you the correct time, the correct seasons? Okay, so we're going to do the same thing like we did with the other calendar. I want you to see this before I fill this out. So they had day 1 in the month of September to start on Tuesday. So here's the proof. Right here. Tuesday was on day 1. And I got this from timeanddate.com. Timeanddate.com give a great summary of the history of these calendars. Okay, proof right before our eyes. So we're going to do the same thing like we did with the other calendar. I'm going to number this so we can get an idea what day and column should number 14 fall on. Okay, so we know the number that comes after 2 is 3. The number come after 3 is 4. And the number after 4 is 5. So I'm going to go down to each column and add 7 to every number. And just bear with me. And September has a total of 30 days. So the number before 8, I know is 7. And the number before 7 is 6. So I'm going to go down to each column and add 7. Okay, we got all that done. So what day, and I forgot to number this, number my days, like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7. And this is done with the heathens calendar, okay? So what day does number 14 fall on? It falls on day 2, which is Monday for United States. Okay. Now, when they made a correction, what day did they put 14 under? They put it on Thursday. That's not right. That's incorrect. And how we know, this is how we're going to know. When you look at the numbers that comes before 14, again, you go down the calendar, it has to add up to be 7. Again, the heathens say that the week is a continuous 7-day week. So these numbers will have to fall in a certain column, a certain day, no matter if they took away days. That's what I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters. This is simple math. This is the proof that cannot be disputed. It's not opinion. This is fact. So when we add 7 to 1, we get 8. 8 plus 7 is 15. And 15 plus 7 is 22. So where they get 19 from? Okay. So we add 22 to 7, we get 29. Where did they get 16 from? See, when you go down the column, it has to be in additions of 7. Even if they skip days to correct themselves to get caught up to the days of the sun. That's what I'm saying to you. So when you get to number 14, when you add 7 down the column, yes, it's going to add up to additions of 7. But that is because they starting with a number and they carrying it, out. I'm trying to think of how I can better put this. They starting with a number with 14 and it's continuous. It's not skipping any numbers. So this is why in this column, when you get to this column, this column here will be additions of 7. Okay, that's the reason why. Let's see what else the following does want me to show you the Most High count so you can see how 7 is in his calendar. Now, as the Messiah says, he has given us the prophets. He has given us his prophets, his word, but we will reject his prophets. We will reject his word and we will listen to a Gentile or we'll listen to a Israelite and we won't keep a record of his calendar, because if you keep a record of his calendar and you go out to observe the heavens, everything should line up. This is how you test doctrines, my brothers and sisters, especially when it comes to his calendar. Go out to the heavens and observe these things. Learn the phases of the daylight. Learn the phases of the night. Learn the phases of the moon. Now the sun don't have a phase, but the sun works differently with itself and with Mazzaroth. We got to learn these lights. And if we don't have understanding of these lights, all we have to do, like the word tells us, ask and it shall be given. Seek ye shall find, knock and the door shall be open unto you. Okay, so let me get to the Most High count so you can see how that works. Hold on. Get my hands on it now. I just printed it out. I'm going to try to get one that's bigger so you can see it. Okay. So I'm going to have to use an older calendar so you can see what I'm talking about. Because the one I printed out, it's so small and you'll see what I'm talking about. I just printed this out and it's so small, but you know what? We might be able to work with it. Okay. The prophet Ezekiel in chapter 46 give you the formula. And when you study Torah, you will learn that the new moon offerings and the 7th-day offerings, known as the Sabbath, I'm not talking about a holy convocation day, that's different. I'm talking about the Sabbath, the Shabbat, the 7th day. They are never offered on the same day. The new moon day is always separate from the Sabbath day. They would never fall on the same day. So based on that formula that he has given unto his prophets, okay, the new moon is separate. It is a holy day, but it's not a day of rest unto the Father. It is a day of worship. It makes sense. What did one represent? Remember, my Father speaking numbers. It represents him. He is what? The one. He is the only one. So we bring in the month with him by worshiping him. And we have to offer the new moon offerings that's listed in Numbers chapter 28 and read Numbers chapter 29, as well as Leviticus chapter 23, Deuteronomy chapter 16, And also read Exodus chapter 12 to get understanding about offerings. Matter of fact, just read a book. Because when you come in the whole volume of the book, you can see what the Father has shown unto me. So when we go down each column, because like you see here, we have day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7. Okay. So when we go down each column, they are additions of 7. 1 plus 7 is 8. That you see here. 8 plus 7 is 15. 15 plus 7 is 22. And then 7 plus 22 is 29. And it's like that in all of the columns. This is how I follow work. It's like a circuit. I don't have to draw it out because I'm the type of person, when you can see it, you will understand what I'm talking about. Time to the Father is like a circuit. It has a beginning point, like this, like here. You have a beginning point and you have an end point. And the beginning, and the end meets the beginning. Another mystery that many don't understand. But anyway, especially when we get to the 7th month, when we deal with the Tekafar, and we begin to understand what the Aleph Taw represent, the beginning, the end, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. 7 months, very deep. But anyway, it's a circuit. And once that circuit has completed itself as the end, meaning the beginning, it starts all over again. That's how the Father works with time, with his months, with his weeks. It's in a circuit. Take this time now to read his word. Read Torah, then read the prophets, and you will see the evidence in the gospel. Even I have found sound proof in the works of Josephus. And some of you have a hard time of grasping that. You be saying, well, it rotates, but does not the Passover rotates on the heathen calendar? Is it not the same on that calendar from year to year? Okay, so the reason why it rotates on the heathen calendar, ask yourself that. I can tell you why. They don't follow the circuits of the heavens. They don't follow Genesis chapter 1 verse 14. If they follow it, then it won't rotate on their calendar, but they don't. Another thing the Father want me to bring this out to you. Did you not know that the heathen's calendar used to start in March and not in January? See, it's so much thing that Constantine has done to the Romans calendar, but it was all according to the will of the Father. He said it in his word. He said it in his word that, and he used the 4th beast to cease these days from Israel. But now we come into the season where the Father's waking us up. He's giving us the proof. And tonight, my brother Ronald Dalton has confirmed it. Because we have our people who are keeping this, who have the knowledge of this. And it confirms what the Spirit taught me, what the Word taught me. And I love how the fact that I have faith in his word and I believe his word. So when he brought out the physical proof, my spirit just rejoiced because I had faith. I knew without a shadow of a doubt, Father, this was your way of how to keep your holy days. This is your calendar. So I give him all praises for that. So I hope that this was very helpful for you tonight. Okay, I hope that you understand this. But if not, you can always email me at followingthemessiah378@gmail.com. Okay, and remember also the other brothers and sisters who have been afflicted or going through. Remember them because I have some of their testimonies on my channel as well. And learn how to love one another. Let the Spirit of the Most High Yah, let his comforter teach you how to love one another, because it's time for us to love one another. So now this concludes this video, which is no Hebrew Israelite can dispute the 1582 error and the 1752 error. For I have proven unto you, Israelites and Gentiles, that the heavens does dictate unto you under the authority of Yahuwah himself on his Sabbath day. It tells you when his Sabbath day is. So we must be obedient. If we are his children, we must follow his instructions. It is time to come out from the ways of the heathens. And the last thing he want me to mention, do you not know who are the Gentiles? There's a video on the channel titled Hebrew Israelites Defines Who Are the Gentiles in the 1611. And here's the mystery that many do understand. For those who say that the Gentiles going to be their slaves and they're not going to receive salvation, well, guess what? Adam's a Gentile. Abraham's a Gentile. Enoch a Gentile. Ishmael a Gentile. Esau a Gentile. And even the Messiah himself gave Jezebel a chance to repent. He talks about her. See, that's a mystery that the Israelites don't understand because their heart is hardened. They're full of anger and bitterness. But they're not asking the question, who put you in this captivity? Who allowed the heathens to do this unto you? And yes, Yahuwah will avenge you because the heathens went too far. But you got to ask yourself that, Israelites, who allowed this? When you understand who allowed it, then your heart is unhardened. You're no longer bitter, and you can be the light to lead Adam, which is Adam, male and female, back to the Father. That is our job. That's our role. We are his servants. We are to lead mankind back to him. Well, I done said enough and preached enough tonight. Make sure the people receive salvation as written in Romans chapter 10 and baptize them in the name of Yahushua HaMashyah, for the Lamb set the example of the water baptism and the Holy Spirit baptism. For the carnal go in hand with the spiritual. For we have 3 witnesses in the earth as well as 3 witnesses in the heaven. A mystery that many do not understand because they're not born again. I love you all, and shalom. Matthew chapter 10, verse 12 to 13. And who is that peace that is in you? Who is that one that shall conquer chaos? Shalom.